Hi and welcome, hi and welcome. It is the day after Arsenal annihilated Athletic Club, but it wasn't an annihilation, but it was a final nail in the coffin, so to say. Arsenal, they didn't have the greatest of first halves. They were playing the ball backwards and not forward passing. They were really tightly marked, so they could only do sideward passing, and it was a very cagey affair in the first half. So that was the first half, and Victor Gyökeres got on to. Victor Gyökeres had a few chances in the first half, but he wasn't able to finish them off. He had a headed chance. He also had a chance where he was running through on goal, where his positioning wasn't as correct as could be. So he had a couple of chances, but he was unable to score, which is understandable. We walk away with the 3 points, which is the all-important part of the game. We walk away as well with 2 goals from super subs Martinelli and Trossard. Trossard being the assister for the first goal, and I think Martinelli was the assister for the second goal. So super subs Martinelli and Trossard from the 70th minute onwards were able to seal the 3 points and get the goals onto the score sheet. So let's I'm going to look at and see what Mikel Arteta had to say after the game. He said, on tonight's game, it was an amazing place to play football. It was one of the greatest atmospheres that he's been in. We knew the first 20 to 25 minutes, it was going to be really tough, especially the way they played. And it was an intense affair. A lot of direct players, a lot of duels. I think that we started to grow throughout the game. And in the second half, we were much more fluent, dominant, and looked much more of a threat. And at the end, the finishers, they made the impact for us to win the game, and overall, I'm very happy. This is some of the press conference. There's quite a lot to take in. There's quite a lot. Let's just check that on. On what he tells his subs, this is the most important part, that they are at least equally important, if not more important. So he's saying that the super subs, that they are equally important, if not more important than the players on the pitch at the time. We have discussed that the finishers are going to be more important this season, the finishers, and sometimes more than the starters. So at least Mikel Arteta is making use of the subs on his bench. It's not like last season where you looked on the bench and the bench looked a bit bare, not too many game changers on the bench from last season. But this season, there is much more depth, and there's some players out injured. So when they come back and they're on the bench, there's going to be much more competition for places, and it should also invigorate the team to be much more efficient and fluid. So that was some of the, let's go through some more of what Mikel Arteta had to say. On Gabriel Martinelli, he fully deserved it. He fully deserved his goals. I adore Gabby, his attitude, his commitment, his positivity, what he's willing to do for the team. Externally, we certainly value all the qualities that he has and he brings to the team. And I'm so happy that today he was important in the two actions. Let's go through some more. On Zubamendi's performance, Zubi was super steady. I think he controlled the tempo of the game. As the game progressed, it was much better because he understood the spaces that were there where we could weaken the opponent so that they didn't run at us, especially as we had to turn them around. And in general, very well. Not only him, the whole midfield, we found ourselves with a little more space, but the team has grown. On Athletic Bilbao, that they are very hard-working, very tough, very clear about what they have to do. They have a coach who gives them an identity and solutions that are very difficult to solve, and that's why it took it out of us so much in the first half. In the second half, I think they physically dropped a little, but we have also been a little bit more stable with the ball, and we have travelled more together, and it's been harder for them to run. I think they have had more difficulties, but in general, I repeat, a spectacular atmosphere and a team that can compete with anyone. So that was some of the I've paraphrased it. That was some of the interview that Mikel Arteta has had after the match with Athletic Bilbao. I've not gone through all of the report, the interview, but it is available on Arsenal's website. If you want to go through all of that, but let's have a look and see on match day one the other teams, the other significant teams. They're all significant, in fact. The other teams' results. So PSV, they scored 1 goal against Union Saint Gilloise, who scored 3 goals. Benfica, they scored 2 goals against Qarabag, which scored 3 goals. So Qarabag were beat Benfica, which was on paper you would most probably put Benfica to win that match. Juventus and Borussia Dortmund was a 4-4 draw score result, and Real Madrid, they faced Olympique Marseille and they won 2-1. And Tottenham Hotspur, them North London rivals, they were able to win 1-0 against Villarreal. So those were all the scores for match day 1 in the Champions League. Match day 1 part 2 is today, which is the 17th of September, and there will be some matches. Let's get the matches up that will be happening today. So let's see if there's any juicy matches which will be happening. Olympiacos plays Paphos at 5:45. Slavia Prague take on Bodo Glimt at 5:45. Ajax take on Inter Milan at 8 p.m. That's UK time GMT. Bayern Munich take on Chelsea, which is an interesting match to watch, I guess. Bayern Munich taking on Chelsea. And then we have Liverpool taking on Atletico Madrid. That's a 8 p.m. kickoff. And PSG taking on Atlanta. So that's match day 1, part 2 of the Champions Leagues. So thank you for watching. Please like, share, and comment. Please like, share, and comment. Thank you.